David adjusted his oversized glasses, a nervous tic he'd developed whenever the conversation veered towards music. He was at Brenda's infamous Wine and Wine evening, a social gathering where the primary activities involved complaining about the PTA and judging each other's cheese selections. Tonight, however, the topic was music, specifically, what was the soundtrack to your youth? David saw his opportunity. He'd spent weeks cramming, transforming himself from a casual listener into a self-proclaimed guru of 70s and 80s rock and pop. He envisioned himself as a musical Moses, ready to lead these pretentious gits from the wilderness of Top 40 into the promised land of Steely Dan. "Oh, my youth," he began, clearing his throat with theatrical flourish. "Well, I was far too sophisticated for the saccharine pop of the day. I was immersed in the complex harmonies of Steely Dan, of course. Royal scam, you know, a veritable masterpiece of jazz-rock fusion. The layers, the nuance." He trailed off, noticing Brenda's glazed-over expression. Undeterred, he pressed on. Pink Floyd, naturally. Dark Side of the Moon, a groundbreaking exploration of the human condition. Comfortably Numb, a poignant commentary on societal alienation. He puffed out his chest, waiting for the gasps of admiration. Instead, he got a blank stare from Carol, who was busy refilling her wine glass. The conversation shifted miraculously to Dire Straits. David perked up. Dire Straits, Mark Knopfler, a guitar god, Sultans of Swing, a biting satire of the music industry, the lyrics, the guitar riffs, the sheer... He paused, searching for the right word. The sheer Knopflerness of it all. A small, bespectacled man named Tit Boy, who David had previously dismissed as a garden gnome, piped up. "Actually, I saw Dire Straits in '85. Knopfler used a custom Schecter Strat with a maple neck. Amazing tone." David gulped. He hadn't anticipated actual knowledge. "Yes, well, the mapleness of it all was quite striking," he stammered, his carefully constructed facade beginning to crumble. Then, disaster struck. Brenda, bless her heart, chirped, "Oh, I loved Duran Duran. Rio was my absolute jam." David recoiled as if she'd just confessed to liking Alvin's Stardust. Duran Duran, pop fluff, superficial, a triumph of style over substance. He immediately regretted his outburst. Brenda was now glaring at him with the intensity of 1,000 suns. He tried to recover. I mean, they had some catchy tunes, but compared to the intellectual depth of, say, Steely Dan's Deacon Blues, it's like comparing a gourmet cheese platter to, well, to Brenda's cheese platter. He winced internally. That was definitely not the right thing to say. The room fell silent. David, defeated, mumbled something about needing to check on his cat and slunk away, leaving a trail of half-digested musical trivia and shattered illusions in his wake. He realized, with a sinking feeling, that impressing people with obscure musical knowledge was a lot harder than it sounded. Maybe he should have just bought a decent bottle of wine and stayed at home watching YouTube.